In Lois Lowry's The Giver, Jonas's world is all about perfect control, perfect predictability. But what happens when you start to see things that nobody else can even comprehend? Well, today we're diving into that exact moment, the moment that perfect world starts to unravel, revealing a truth that is way more colorful than Jonas could ever imagine.
So it all kicks off with this dream Jonas just can't shake. A sled ride, a snowy hill, but it's more than just a dream. It leaves him with this incredibly deep, powerful need for something he can't even name, something just out of reach. And that feeling, that's the very first sign that his entire world is about to be turned upside down. And right away, this dream creates a huge divide. Jonas suddenly finds himself on the outside looking in. His friends are all buzzing about their new jobs, but he can't share a single thing about his training. Yeah, the rules forbid it, but honestly, the bigger problem is that the words to describe what he's going through, they just don't exist in his world.
And that's where the isolation really kicks in. His community is so proud of its precision of language, but their words only cover this flat, simple gray world. I mean, think about it. How do you possibly explain snow or a sled or that feeling of wind rushing past your face to someone who has never known any of it? Jonas is now living in two totally different realities, and in one of them, he is completely and utterly alone. But it's not just his inner world that's changing. The way he sees the outer world is starting to glitch in these really strange ways. It's building this puzzle he just can't solve. And the latest clue? It pops up while he's just hanging out with his friend Fiona. And there it is again, that indescribable change. He has no words for it. It's not the shape of her hair, not the style, but for just a split second, it was different. And he just knows it's the same thing, the same seeing beyond that happened with the apple a while back, and then with the faces in the crowd. Okay, so this is definitely not random anymore. We're seeing a pattern here. First it was the apple, then the faces, and now Fiona's hair. These things are happening more and more often, and Jonas is starting to connect the dots. Something really significant is happening to him, and he feels like he has to figure it out. So this is the question that's just eating away at him. What is this indescribable change he keeps seeing? He's frustrated, he can't find an answer anywhere in his sterile world, and he knows there's only one person who might have a clue. The Giver.
So Jonas goes and explains everything. But the Giver, he doesn't just hand him the answer. No, instead, he sort of guides Jonas toward figuring it out for himself. He asks what seems like a totally random question about that sled memory, and then gives him this really curious instruction.
And Jonas is just totally confused, right? He figures the Giver has to give him the memory all over again. But that's when the Giver explains something absolutely mind-blowing. The memory now belongs to Jonas. It's his to access. And this points to a huge difference in how memory even works for the receiver. See, for everyone else, memories are just of their own lives. That's it. One-generation memories. But Jonas, he can now tap into memories that aren't his at all, experiences from generations and generations ago, passed down from the Giver. That sled ride is now a part of him. It's his to command, his to re-experience anytime he wants. And you know what? It works. With a little bit of focus, boom, he's right back at the top of that snowy hill. He looks down at the sled, and there it is. That same mysterious quality from the apple, from Fiona's hair, but this time is different. It's not a flicker. It's constant. It's real. This is it. This is the final test. By being able to recall that memory, Jonas proved he's ready. All the clues are finally on the table, and the Giver is about to reveal the answer that Jonas has been so desperately searching for. The what? The word is completely alien to Jonas. Color. It's a concept so totally absent from his world that he has no way to even process it, so the Giver has to explain this fundamental thing that has been completely lost to time. I mean, just try to imagine grasping this. For your entire life, the whole world has only had shape and size. And now, someone tells you there was this whole other dimension to everything, a quality called color. And the very first one you're experiencing is something called red. And just like that, it all clicks into place. The strange, fleeting change in that apple, the flicker in Fiona's hair, the constant quality of the sled. It was never a different thing each time. It was always the same thing. It was the color red. So this revelation of color is obviously incredible, but it immediately brings up a much deeper, much more troubling question for Jonas. If this quality is so amazing, why on earth did his community get rid of it? The whole mystery shifts from what he's seeing to why it was ever taken away. These are Jonas's questions, and they cut right to the heart of his community's entire philosophy. And the giver explains that this wasn't some accident. It was a choice, a deliberate choice made a long, long time ago. The choice to go to what they called sameness. And here's the bargain they made. To get total control, to get rid of conflict and pain and unpredictability, they had to give up all the things that made life rich and vibrant. They chose a world with no surprises, but in doing that, they also chose a world with no color. And Jonas's reaction here, wow, it's so powerful. It's immediate, it's fierce. For him, there's no debate. After seeing just one color for a few fleeting moments, he knows, instinctively, that the price his society paid for control was way, way too high. The giver is actually startled by this. He tells Jonas that it took him years to come to that same conclusion. But Jonas, with his fresh perspective, his untaught instincts, he got there in a single moment. It's just a powerful sign of the wisdom that's starting to wake up inside him. And this moment isn't an ending at all. Really, it's a brand new beginning. Jonas has just discovered one single color. Now, as the giver promises, he's about to see them all in the memory of a rainbow, a stunning glimpse of the vast, beautiful, and complicated world that's been hidden from him, just waiting to be rediscovered.